you everyone for joining in today. I'm Mansha Gagneja and I lead the PR and comms at our systems. And it's a pleasure for me to welcome you all to this panel discussion. This year's International Women's Day's theme was Give to Gain, and which was a powerful reminder that success is not a solo journey, right? It is shaped by the people who have been supporting us, the moments that have challenged us, and the choices and decisions we make that define us over the journey, right? And borrowing from that, today, our panel is going to discuss the many moments that have shaped their journey, right? Before we begin, I would like to share with everybody that we are recording this session and we have a short Q&A for you after the panel discussion to just interact with you. And so please feel free to actually share your questions in the Q&A section. The chat is disabled. We have enabled the Q&A section, so please feel free to share your questions there. And feel free to direct them to one particular panelist that you want to ask that question, and we'll try to take up as many as possible and follow the rest offline. So without further ado, I would like to now share with us that we have these four incredible leaders with us today who have not just navigated their own paths, they've to successful careers, but they've also uplifted others. They've helped communities. They have reached out to younger folks to get them to their success stories, right? And allow me to introduce right now Ambika Bhatt, who is the CIO Onyx-Fire, Nicoleta Rusu, who is the head of IT integrations and transformations, Vodafone Romania, and CIO Telecom Romania Mobile. We also have with us Tejaswini Manjunath, who is the VP of operations at RippeyAI, and Vidya Hungut, who is data engineering and analytics leader and a DEI advocate with us today. And we would like to know you all a little better with a short, quick, fun question that we have for you. If you could look at the screen, there are a few different kinds of roads that have that we've listed down for you. If you can pick one that you feel reflects best how your journey has been and tell us a little bit about it. This is also an open poll for everybody from the audience to join in as well. So Ambika, we would like to start with you. If you can share one option as to which journey looks best for you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mansha. I think my journey, I would say, would be a mountain hike and a little bit of unpaved trail. I started my career as a technologist who loved solving a problem and moved on to a leadership role. So, it's with the changing landscape in IT, it's constant learning. It's exhausting at times, but the journey, the companionship, and the team that that you get to grow with is rewarding for sure.
Thank you so much, Ambika. Nicoleta, would you like to go next?
Hi, everyone. I'm really happy and thrilled to be here today with you. Well, I would say that it's mostly a mountain hike because indeed, looking from where I started and where I am now, definitely there was a lot to climb. And with extraordinary moments, some of them difficult, but many of them full of satisfaction. However, because it's not always going up, it's also a bit of, I guess, a scenic route. There were moments where maybe my career was also going a bit flat or even changing a bit, recalibrating, making a step, maybe a step down or sideways, and then continue from there. So it's somehow a combination, it depends. If you compare start with current, it definitely was way up. But then from time to time, you have to reconsider. This would be a very, very, very quick overview of 24 years of experience within IT domain, starting as a simple, small software developer and reaching to the point of IT director and coordinating very, very big IT teams.
Thank you. Vidya, would you like to share what would you like to pick and a bit about your journey as well?
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me here. Privileged and honored to be part of the panelists with others as well. I think for me, the number three, which is more of a city drive plus also a freeway drive, right? Uh, the reason why I say that is there are many places where I have stopped, relooked at whether I'm on the right track to proceed forward. Will that yield a better trajectory if I continue, or should I take a detour? Right. So, one of the things that I have had in the experience is if I take a freeway, I'll make an exit, but there is always an entry in the other side, right? So that has helped me to pave my path, whether I have stopped or whether I have taken the freeway detour or whether I have continued on the same path, right? So I think it's number three that resonates well for me from the diagrams that you have shown. Quickly, it's like, 22 years of experience in software engineering, have been part of, building the high performing teams and also building the scalable platforms, which is at enterprise scale. And I love to create teams where they can not only survive, but also they can thrive and grow forward.
Thank you so much, Vidya. TJ, we would like to go with you next. Could you share how your journey has been like and a bit about yourself?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me amongst these distinguished women and for giving me a space here. About my journey, I would believe it's the unpaid trail, and I can tell you why. I decided I don't want to do tech, and I went and did management. I got an MBA in port and shipping management because I thought that's cooler than HR and marketing. And after that, there was no designated career path for somebody because there were no that role was so new for anybody who is studied shipping and logistics. It's a very traditional sector. But if you look at me now, I'm working with AI in for logistic companies, and that's something that I've learned to take on as the role comes. I didn't know such roles existed, so that's why I would think no map, no GPS, follow your gut, be open to opportunities, and just say yes, and you could probably later figure out how you'll do it. That's been the motto. So that probably resonates more in terms of my career journey so far.
Thank you, TJ. Ambika, circling back to you, I think you did share how your road has been on the slide, but I would also like to know a little bit more about yourself, how your career has been, what have you been doing? The audience would love to know.
Yeah, thank you. I'm the Chief Information Officer at Onyx-Fire here in Canada. We are in head office is located in the Greater Toronto area, and I've been here for past 4 years. As I said, I was a developer at one point, an architect, and I loved solving problems. And I was in one of my previous companies, the general manager, his name was Frank Cashin at that time. He wanted me to lead the IT team, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. He's like, this is what you're going to do. So I ended up taking that opportunity and started my leadership role. And it was very satisfying to see grow with the team, help the team grow. And I realized I really enjoy doing that. And I've been doing that for almost 10 years now. And really grateful to have had that opportunity. I've had many mentors throughout my career. And I'm grateful for Brian Chu, who's the CEO of Onyx-Fire, for trusting me with the responsibilities of the CIO role, and my mentor, Dinesh Jetwa, for helping me transition through the role. His experience has guided me so much in my journey as a CIO here. So it's, as you said, it's not a solo journey. There's so many people that help you get to where you are, and it's a continuous journey. And you get to help so many people. That is your reward. So that's how I see it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That is so nice that you have been sharing your inspiring journeys, right? And as you, all of you are reflecting back, would you be able to pick one particular moment that has, either very quietly or dramatically shaped the course of your journey? Would you want to pinpoint that one particular moment that defined your career? Nicoleta, would like to start with you on this one. You could share.
Yes. It's very difficult, looking back to really pick that one, because
Yeah.
you feel like each important moment has added another drop in your glass today. I would say, I'm just to make a bit of context. So I'm in Romania. I'm from Romania. I've always been in love with IT. So I discovered IT early in high school. And since then, I said, this is what I want to do for my whole life. So in high school, IT, then in university, of course, I went again for IT. But there was, I was feeling like, okay, but there's too much theory around IT. So second year of university, I said, I need also to feel what IT is about. So I got hired in some small software development companies. And that was really, really exciting for me. But being in small software companies means that you are the one man runs the show. So I was the one sitting next to my customer. At that moment, we were developing software to automate the salaries calculation. So I was sitting to my customer, to the lady that was doing the salaries, taking directly the requirements, then going back to the office, doing the development, then going back to the lady and putting the development to run. And together with the lady, we were going through all the steps. So this, although quite intense, doing everything, exposed me very early in what is actually the value of IT. So it's not about the software itself. Okay, it's nice to think about algorithms, solutions, technologies, and everything else. But the biggest happiness comes when you see the actual usage, when you see the client using it and saving the client's time. So the lady was writing hundreds of pages at that time, doing manual calculation of all the salaries. Everything has to be extremely precise. And then when I come and I put the software, and I was looking at her, seeing that the things that took her days to prepare every month were executing in 1 hour or something of the software. So she was like, wow, I have now so much time to do other stuff. I don't have to write so much. I don't have to spend nights. So that was the greatest joy. And since then, I always had in mind that it's always about the benefits that IT is bringing. And this was something that has been structurally changed my whole career since then, because I was always trying to understand what is the actual value that we are bringing. Initially that I was bringing, since I was a software developer, but then later on that my team is bringing, what is the actual need and what is the actual value that we are bringing. And I think this really influenced everything that I've been done my whole life. So 24 years of IT, always having in mind, so what is the value that we are bringing? And I think this was a very, very important lesson that I was always teaching to my team and to my peers, because it's easy to develop endless solutions. But I think the most valuable thing is to understand the actual need that you are covering with it. So this would be my very early lessons in life, I would say, but then we
How
will
to
talk
make a
about
difference. How to make a
exactly.
difference in somebody else's life. right?
Exactly.
And that probably influenced your decisions forever
All
on.
along. Yes.
Thank you so much, Nicoleta. It's a beautiful story. Um, Tejaswini, would you like to go next with one of your defining moments?
Uh, I don't think there's actually like one defining moment because you have to prove yourself every day, every role. But I think my exposure, I started off with corporates like Caterpillar and Infor, and then I decided that I'll do startup because it will probably give me a lot more freedom to do what I want and probably scale more quickly.
Mm.
And I was always proactive, but startup demands something a lot more than what you're prepared for. So,
Yeah.
you know, and all of our clients are all in the US, and my development team sits in Nepal. So you actually start your day in the morning and it goes on till the end and to attend to everything. And that sort of made me a lot more efficient, a lot more resilient, and also working with different teams with different expertise is a whole different skill, I would say, because as a company, I manage the implementation team sitting here in India. We do have teams in the US where uh, I mean. You would see differences in terms of capability because of where you originate from, right? But to prove yourself there and to be the voice that's heard in the room, to be the only girl in the room, that kind of exposure was given to me because this is a startup. They've trusted me a lot in terms of giving me the responsibility, and it's been wonderful to grow. So, to everybody here, if you are ever thinking you need something challenging, that's probably one area that will make you really strong, and you'll probably carry these skills a long way to go. So yeah, that's about, yeah, this exposure I would say has been the most special one for me.
Quite an inspiring, like you're doing it all, you're managing different time zones, you're managing different cultures, you're proving yourself. Such an inspiring story for the young people that we have here as well. Thank you so much, TJ. Vidya, would you like to go next? Share one of your incidents or maybe a longer ones?
Yeah, no, so good to hear from rest of the panelists as well. Similar experience along the way, for sure. Uh, lot more when it comes to where I have switched companies from one to the other, right? So that's one thing which I would like to say. The defining moment happens because you would have seen something else somewhere and you think that that's the right path for you and you go after that. To take a specific example, or maybe which can resonate with rest of the people or the audience here, is um, one of my mentor during my early career, right? So as part of Intuit, her name is Deepa Bachu, and she was invited as a panelist for Cisco to talk about how Intuit is doing a lot of women initiatives, how diversity, equity, and inclusion is happening. So for her, I think she had done that many a times. And I was part of the, being a brand ambassador for Intuit. There were three other people who were with me. She said, like, why don't I take three of you and I'll take the moderator seat and help you people to come onto the podium. And literally, she kind of gave the spotlight on us, right? So that kind of leadership is something which I really want to carry forward. And I hope I'm doing the similar kind of journey looking at her. Uh, this definitely has shaped my leadership, the way I look at people, the way I build communities. So it has definitely influenced, and I'll not be shying away to call that as the defining moment to see how the leadership definition stands out for me, right? It's not about you growing alone, but you are pulling others as well as you grow forward. And it's not about what you build, but who you have built along the way, right? So that's something which stands out.
It's wonderful how your mentor has actually helped you mentor others as you go along, right? It's a nice um, thing to share. Ambika, would you like to go next? Share with us a defining moment of your life, of your
You
career.
know, Yeah, no, for sure. I had many defining moment. It could be at my early years at school. I did my bachelor's at Manipal. The professors there, they would not let you, see. They don't want to see you fail, so they won't let you give up. So I've had the um, opportunity to learn from such amazing professors. One of them is Professor Somshekhar Bhatt, who has guided me throughout my bachelor's, and the going on my professors at U of T have been amazing. So each interaction you have where you think you want to give up and they won't let you give up. So from early educational days to my career, where you are managing a big transformational project, and all you don't need to have all the answers. All you need is to provide clarity to the team and help them move forward, and help remove all the obstacles and give the momentum. So when you see that, when you at the end of it, when you reflect back, that is really helps you grow. So um, as I said, one of the moments earlier, when my um, leader at the time, he saw me ready before I could see that in myself. So that was another defining moment. He helped me move on to a leadership role and see how rewarding it is. So, the many, many moments like that in my journey, for sure.
Thank you, Ambika. We would now like to move on to, and so everybody, while they were defining their moments, right, they were touching upon some of the mentors, some of the guides that have helped shape that. We would like to now know a little bit about those mentors, those guides who have supported us along the journey and have helped us through the success story, right? So can you share a few one or two people who have supported you through the journey, who you would like to call upon, and then tell us about how they have supported your journey? Um, TJ, we would like to go with you with this one.
The list is endless. So, I mean, I'll obviously start with my mother because she was uh, very forward in terms of understanding that girls need education. I know for today, it might be a very obvious thing, but back then, I think while I was growing up, the question used to be, are you going to a Kannada medium school or an English medium school, right? Like that was the question. It's not even that you're going to school. So starting there, she wanted to give the best for me, so she put me there and she said, you have to study well and do well for yourself. That sort of instilled a lot of dedication and commitment, that has helped me grow. Without her, I wouldn't be where I am. I'd probably be just, I don't know, I can't even imagine, right, when you think about that. And then I've looked up to a lot of women, like my headmistress, leaders in the organization. Because I didn't have a role model at home who was like at corporate, I always looked out for people at workplaces and made friends with them and learned from them and reached out to them for help. HR somehow were a lot, were my best friends. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And and I can give you a small incident, right? I was looking for a change, and then I had this opportunity where it was again a startup, but the founder said, you know what, if you work hard, you will see the result in 2 years, and we will give you a better remuneration at that point of time. And when I reached out to the mentor, she said, no, you're not going to do that. Don't sell yourself short. Do not compromise on that, right? And I had to hear it from somebody like that. And support does not mean like, really important, regular, the proper mentor mentee kind of thing. It was that one conversation that changed also the path. And now when I talk to people, that's one advice that I give: do not sell, so support has come to me in many, many different forms. And my current CEO, he saw that I was capable, and he helped. He gave me really challenging projects, obviously, and then I've yeah stayed up a lot of nights, midnight oil, all of that, but it's definitely worth it. But support, like I said, can be in terms of a friend, a conversation, somebody who believes in you. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everybody that's got me here.
Yeah, that's so relatable. I have myself, been looking for mentors. My mother was in teaching in school, right? And I was looking for, as you were looking for, a corporate person who can actually give you some advice how we can go along, right? So it was for me as well when I started working with Indian Express as a journalist. That's when there was a person there who could actually handhold and tell me as to this is how it is done. This is the trenches that you can, learn from, right? And that has helped journeys throughout, right? So whenever I've jumped from one to the other, I've always either found somebody who has mentored me or helped people who are looking for mentors. So it's a great relatable journey for me with you. Vidya, we would like to hear from you as well. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
can you hear me? Yeah.
yes, yes. Yeah, I think there are a lot of people who have definitely helped me to be who I am today. A couple of them I'll call both from my personal front and also professional front, right? So on the professional side, definitely there are people, whether I'm there as part in the room or not, they continue to kind of cheer me. They kind of literally do a sponsorship, irrespective whether I'm there in the room or not, right? Uh, when there was a tech women community, we started at Intuit. I didn't even, raise my hand to be the, incubating person for that, right? The sponsor, Sudhir Patnaik, he was like, I think I felt like he kind of knew more about me than what I knew about myself. So that kind of, trust and open communication have had happened in the past, right? So that kind of led me to say that, okay, if he's saying that I can lead tech women community at Intuit, I said, okay, yes, I'll do it, right? So there are incidences where people invest in you, whether you seek or you don't seek, right? And those kind of opportunities are rare. One of the message I would like to give the audience is when it comes by you, grab it right then and there, because it wouldn't last for long, right? So that's one thing. The other thing from a family and the personal front is I delivered my son, like he's currently 20 years old, but when I took a 4 months of break, I had to relocate to San Diego from Bay Area, right? So the relocation was not easy because the remote working concept is only off late, right? So I'm talking about like 2004 by 5 time frames. My husband is the biggest, support system, I would say. Like pretty much he said, it's okay if I don't get promotion this year. I'll make a move with you to be with you and, support not only professionally, but also taking care of the, infant kid that I had back then, right? Uh, One thing I would call out for the audience and the younger generation out there is I know nowadays, like isolated families is the norm, but I have been through where, having a solid support system and an extended family support system has helped me really be, always visible in the industry and the corporate because rest of the things are taken care for me, right? So, uh, I would really double down on that. If somebody can, be that extended support for you, go for that.
Support is, underrated. I think that I think we do not we hesitate to ask for that support. We feel that we can do it all as women. We are multitaskers. We will be able to not slack. We will be able to do everything by our own. But I think support is something, if we just not hesitate and ask that one person to take care of the child for once, or seek a mentor, ask a guide, I think it does not make us a little less. It only gives us more power to actually do much more than what we are currently doing, right? Thank you so much, Vidya, for that. Ambika, would you like to share your support system, who has helped you through the journey?
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with Vidya on that. As women, we try to do it all. We need to be kind to ourselves, and take the support that doesn't make you any less, right? I've been fortunate. My husband is a rock star. He helps me throughout, and my family has been very supportive as well. My parents have had the extended family support me, because I've lived in Canada for many decades now, so I've had the blessings of having the extended family here visit me, support us, even to say, okay, what am I going to wear today? So my daughter would help me with that. So take it. If you're getting a help, just take it. And if whenever the opportunity presents, just grab it. Even though you think you're not ready, you'll figure it out along the way. You just grab the opportunity and then look for mentors who can guide you through it, and just keep going forward. So that's what I would say. And I've been fortunate to have very great team as well. The team, even my current team and my past team, they've been very supportive. They're so incredible, and I get to learn from them every day, but they have my back all the time. So
thank you so much for sharing that, Ambika. Nicoleta, we would like to know some of your supporters, guides who have helped you.
Yeah, it's so fully similar with what has been already said here. The thing is that, at least it used to be some years ago, that whenever you are already on a senior management position in IT, usually most of the peers and most of the managers were men. So although I'm not complaining about, because I was so lucky to always have great support from my men peers, my men managers. All my mentors were men, by the way, because this is how it was. All the senior and the executive level was mostly men, but I was lucky enough to have very good ones around myself that were my mentors during the time, and I've learned so much. But in the same time, being there, I was always feeling like I need to be at their level, at their level of engagement, at their level of time spent in the office, at their level of doing things, so that my other part of the personal life got shrinked more and more. I didn't really feel like, oh, I need to shout for help. I thought, no, I need to be at the level of my men colleagues. And I was always over pushing myself. And my aha moment came when finally I got pregnant and my boy came into my life. And then suddenly all my universe got changed, because suddenly I was in the position where I really need to split myself. It's not a choice anymore. It's not like you're doing what you feel like whenever you feel like. The kid is there and he's the priority of your life, at least as a mother. And then suddenly I started to see everything around myself through different eyes. And I started to appreciate even more all the support I was having from my team, because I was also lucky enough to have a great team close to me in all these years, whom I love and I see as my second family. And during all my journey, I was always putting them as my first priority. But suddenly I realized that, yes, you need to know very well what are your limits, what are the limits that you need to stick in, because eventually our life needs to be in a balance on what we do as energy, as attention, as time in the office, but equally what we do when we go home to our families, to our children, and definitely there needs to be a balance. And yes, openly, my recommendation is always to my colleagues around, but mostly to the mothers and to the lady colleagues around, please speak up. Please say whenever you need help. Say whenever you have a special situation that we, all the rest of us, need to support. Because I believe that only when you really feel in balance, and when your mind is calm and focused, that's only the only moment where you can really be productive. So it's nonsense to push someone that has the mind or the soul, or it's too tired, or it's in difficult situation, to push him to stay longer hours, to deliver difficult tasks and everything else. It's really nonsense and useless. So this is a lesson which came into my life maybe in a harsh way. We've been to a very, very drastic transformation that we were doing. Me and my team were pushing very hard, and we almost did the mission impossible to deliver that project. And of course, I was very proud because we achieved, we delivered, we fulfilled the target. So it was really like a celebration moment. And at a very short time, I think couple of days afterwards, we were having a hypercare situation, and everyone was calling, so let's get in this meeting, let's get this thing sorted out. And I was calling one of my lady managers from the team, and she said, "Oh, Nico, I'm so sorry. My husband just passed away and I cannot join the meeting." And I felt like, oh my God, how far did I push the team so that she feels sorry she cannot join a damn meeting in such a difficult personal moment? And that's where, I felt speechless. I felt like, damn, I did something really wrong in this respect. And since then, I'm always very careful, understanding what is the personal situation each colleague is going through. I think this is the most important quality of a leader. You need to listen to your people, you need to understand their personal situation and challenges, and you need to be supportive. And only when you fulfill all these three things, then you have the right to push for performance in the office. And I believe this needs always to be the approach that me as a leader need to follow. So we need to speak about it always.
Thank you, Nicolita. You've shared a very personal story, how you have learned something, how you were pushing for performance and you took a step back and, became a better leader, right? Now, we are all in that position who can now give back to the society, right? We have got our mentors, we've, moved forward with our journey of success. Now we are in that position to give back to the young folks, right? What is it that we are doing? What are the opportunities that we are creating? What are the communities that we are building for these? How we are giving back to the society? How are we giving back to, with the mentees, right? So I would like to know from Ambika, what have you done? What are you doing right now with your teams, with your people to give back, to create opportunities?
Yeah, no, each team member, is different, right? Everybody, different things inspire them, motivates them, and their aspirations are different. So, Nicoletta, so right, you need to learn what motivates the team, what makes them happy, and what's going on in their life, and work with them to achieve what they want. What makes them happy, because ultimately that's what everybody wants, right? They want to feel like they're contributing, they're succeeding, and they're growing. So with my team, I try and see how the the company is going. I try to give the clear vision. This is where we need to be, and how I can help them achieve that, right? Where we need to be, how I can help them contribute to where we need to be. So we need to set clear expectation that this is our goal. So the goal post needs to be clear. So if you have that clear vision, it helps them help you achieve that, right? So as a leader, that's what I would say. I try and work with them to see what helps them, what makes them happy.
Thank you, Ambika. Vidya, would you like to share how you have created opportunities for your folks?
Yeah, I think, see, for me, like, give to gain is definitely real, right? Very real, not only now, but even in the past. This year, the theme might be that. But the reason why I say that is whenever I have mentored people, or whether it could be, creating scalable platforms or enabling teams to deliver at their best, it has always, the success has multiplied, right? So it has come back in a very big, audacious manner, I would say. Uh, One thing is, as leader, it's not just about delivering outcomes again, right? But also creating and making that it's a system of opportunities that we are empowering our team with. So I intentionally do that, right? So that is one way at the professional and the corporate level I do. The second one, typically I do building communities outside as well, right? So, one is the learn, teach, learn community within the corporate, outside where Aspire for Her, where we go and coach other people to see if they can sign up for becoming the members on the Women in Board, right? So that's one. And Her Second Innings is another one where we help people to rejoin workforce. uh, this definitely needs a lot of hand holding, right? So, because the fact that they have lost confidence to come back, bouncing back. So, this needs mentoring at a different level. It's not just about, learning and upskilling in a specific tech stack. There is a lot more soft skills and behavioral skills you will have to help them. So I definitely, spend quite a bit of my weekends time to help others come back to workforce through Her Second Innings. And Chinomics is another company led by Bhavna Tur, where we help women leaders to become visible women leaders, and becoming jury member for that, coaching them on the go, are some things which I spend my time on. And I really believe in that, like, helping others will help the community grow faster, right? So the intention is very clear for me. So I don't mind going and spending those extra weekends with the community.
How do you manage your time, Vidya? The
Sunday is
weekends are
the time.
busy, the weekdays are busy. How do you manage it all?
Yeah, primarily, I think I'm a very structured, methodical person, right? So if my calendars are color coded, and pretty much like, the weekend Saturdays are booked early for me. Sunday is the time where I spend with my family and with my, cousins and relatives. One of the things which I would like to call up, give credit to Manjula Dharmalingam from Her Second Innings is the Saturday mentorship. She enabled it to become a, walk and talk kind of a mentorship. So we go to Bangalore, Lal Bagh, and you walk and you talk
Sightseeing,
with your
walking,
mentee. So,
lovely.
so that definitely, keeps all of us to be there in the fresh green air in the morning. So that helps. So being more creative as we grow in our careers is something which definitely resonates now looking back.
Maybe you can start that for multiple cities, and Pune can be the next one. Huh?
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vidya. It was quite insightful. Tejaswini, would you like to share um, some of the opportunities you have created?
Uh, sure. So, I lead a team of girls who run implementations with clients abroad, particularly big clients. But that was not easy to get to. Uh, so I've had the opportunity to hire them, groom them, make sure that they are confident, and then also they also talk about themselves and the work they do. The visibility aspect, I think we are all like really shy away. We just hope somebody notices that I'm working so hard, and then just hope that somebody will come and appreciate you. But I learned it the hard way that you have to speak for yourself, and I make sure that they're getting this early on. And with that, I also make sure that they understand the value of credentials that you add to your profile when it comes to like courses, certifications, and things like that. We all, as girls and women, I think, have to prove a lot to not be taken uh, easily, right? Like you don't want to be that one person who's just listening, or that you say something and you're not confident about it, even though it's right, it gets dismissed. Where that helps is your credentials. So I highly recommend that in your in field of interest, please go and get that, so when you're making a statement, that you are taken a lot more seriously. So to my girls, I'm usually like, go and add those credentials, so because I'm not going to be in the room all the time to support you. So that leading by example, basically about how to present, conduct, and those are all little things. When you ask, you hope that your mentor is you want to ask the really difficult questions to your mentor, but not the easy ones, right? But giving them space, and they've all been open to learning that as well. It helps that I have a Gen Z sister as well when I'm working with all of them. So it's a different skill if you have to teach them, if you have to give something back to them, because they're all like super confident themselves. But yeah, I think in my circle of influence, grooming the girls that I see and encouraging them to really go out and be there, and um, really being confident, that's what I try to focus on. Nobody knows everything. I still don't know anything. That's what I tell them. I'm very open to say that I really don't know how we're going to do it, but we will get there. So that's made a difference, and it's also fun. It's absolutely fun when you have this group of community that you can talk to, where you're able to share and learn and grow as well. So my little bit that I've been doing here.
Quite a few practical hacks that you've shared with our audience today. Right. Thank you so much, TJ. We'd like to see what Nicolata has been doing, uh, building opportunities.
Yeah, a little bit of all the things that were already mentioned. What I would say is that in many of the cases, self-confidence is the quality where we need to really work with the people in our teams or around us, or always I see so many good people with high potential who have not enough confidence to really make one step forward and show themselves, and be much more visible in the community, so that the other people see them and understand that they have the right potential to be promoted. So what I do usually, I'm always sitting among my team. I'm trying to always, when I go in the office, I'm not booking a separate room for me. I'm looking for a place in the open space to see exactly, to be in within the team. And between meetings, I'm always chit-chatting with them, and I'm always trying to show them, to be vulnerable in front of them, and to show them, look, there are many moments where maybe I don't have enough confidence in myself, or I don't know everything, and I'm also learning together with you, or in some of the cases maybe they know more than I do. So it's fine not to feel, the perfect person with the perfect skills and only then speak up. I'm always trying to show them all my vulnerabilities, all my imperfections, to understand that they need to be confident. It's, their performance does not equal perfection. Perfection is something that should always be avoided, and this is what I try to speak up, so that to encourage them and to make them have more confidence in themselves. But in the same time, I'm always pushing them to do the extra mile. You know, whenever we have big meetings, all hands and everything else, I would rather push in front representatives of my team than myself going there to take the speech. You know, I'm always saying, look, this time I really want to nominate some of my team members to be on the stage and to present things and to discuss and to lead the discussion, so that I really give them the visibility. Sometimes they are not very happy at the beginning about it, but then, you know, they come and say, oh, it was so good, thank you for giving me this opportunity, because somehow they overpass their limits, that, you know, they are not good enough, or maybe it's not the right moment, or let's wait some more time because maybe I'll be better next time. So I'm always trying to make them to grow their self-confidence, to be more visible, to speak up, to be, you know, in the middle of the action. And also what I'm always pushing is that we need to encourage taking the discover. So within Vodafone, we have a big community of discoveries. Discoveries are people that are young, that are still students, many of them, or just graduated, that don't have yet job experience. So we have a program in which we are onboarding them. We have every year we have a lot of events in which they express their intention, and we have number of seats where they can come and join us. So I'm always encouraging all my team to get as many discovers as they can, to bring them in, to teach them, to guide them in the early steps of the career, so that they really get more, you know, understanding of what they would like to do, what would be at least the first steps in the career that they would like to take. And in many of the cases, even creating the opportunities for them to get on a permanent assignment within Vodafone. Either on vacancies, either sometimes we just make new transformations where we can increase a bit the headcounts, and we've seen some very young talents that we are supporting and we are bringing them in the team, and also taking care of them to grow. And I'm always insisting with my my team that they need to grow the people around themselves. They need to speak from their experience, give them advices, act as mentors. I don't know, coaching sometime if it's in the right moment. So always focus on growing the people around us. And I think this is the only way that can make the continuity of the team, and that can really give us satisfaction back. You know, to me, it means a lot to see people around myself growing and being happy within their journey. So this would be what I'm doing. Unfortunately, weekends, I'm still trying to spend more time with my little one, so not much yet. I guess once he would start growing a bit and I'll be able also to involve him actively, it will be much easy to accommodate also these kind of activities.
Nicolette, do you have any advice for the other colleagues, other leaders who also want to give back? Would you have any pearls of wisdom for the other leaders?
I would say to what I saw and what I felt during time is that whenever you are really authentic in front of your people, in front of the people around ourselves, then you make much more impact. So I would say just, you know, be yourself, always show all your vulnerabilities, be authentic, uh, admit failures, present failures as a safe thing, as a normal thing, so that people really start getting more self-confidence. I think we are lacking self-confidence within our teams so much that many good people are just hesitating to step up, to speak up, to make, you know, to make the next step in their career. So my kind advice would be just be authentic. Just show them that, you know, We are humans too. There's no secret recipe of success. It's just being yourself, trust in yourself, trust in the people around you, and things will come naturally.
Thank you so much. Great advice. Ambika,
Thank
do
you.
you have any advice for the other colleagues, the other leaders who want to create defining moments for others?
I think, we don't need to be perfect. As Nicoletta said, it's okay to have vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
And, we just need to be willing to do what it takes, right? So, willing to learn, willing to do the difference. So as long as we can instill that in the team and, help them grow, that should be good. That's what I am the same way. I try to be myself, and the team knows what works, what doesn't work, and they're open. They know even if my door is closed, they know they can just walk right in, and whatever I'm doing, I will pause and talk to them. And I love working with my team, and they know they can fail and come to me and say I've messed up. So I think that is important. It's important to create that safe environment where they can say this works, this doesn't work, and they can be open with you.
So you're creating a comfort zone where they can just reach out to you and grow as they go, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Vidya, do you have anything to add there?
One of the things I think I heard from both Nicolette and also Ambika is creating that safety, right? Stretch with safety is what I typically refer that to, right? What that means is you are giving a bigger initiative or a bigger task that an individual can handle, which they think they are not ready yet to handle. But yet you have made your, safety net created and iteratively keep watching them and help them to succeed. That's something which I intentionally do, right? So that's where I believe it can turn into a defining moment for that individual, right? So knowing at each individual level is important. Other one is like the visibility uh, effort that we put in for that individual in teams, right? A lot of times, like, visibility for an individual could be just rewards and recognition that they get. For few of them, it could be spotlight awards. For few of them, it could be a stage where they can do demo for senior leaders. So knowing that each person individually, what is the currency that they measure themselves as successful in that company is very important. So creating that visibility, knowing at individual level is something which I have invested in intentionally again. Uh, my belief is that exposure creates acceleration. So we got to create that kind of exposure for individuals. And the third one, which I really emphasize on, is on the feedback, right? So many of the times when I have worked with, skip level meetings and those kind of things, uh, people think feedback always comes with a negative connotation. That's not true, right? There is critique versus criticism. So changing that mindset for the individual over multiple sessions of coaching definitely helps them. Like, feedback builds but doesn't break, right? So we need to emphasize on that line. The reason why I'm touching on this is one of my mentor early on in my career, right? So when I got a feedback that I'm not giving my point of view in the right tone, I was like literally shocked and taken aback. I thought I'm doing my best. I'm like, uh, everything is working fine for me, but why am I receiving this feedback, right? When I went to that mentor, Rahul Goyal, he specifically said, like, treat this as a small hole in the boat. And when you're paddling towards the bank, you can paddle faster and reach the bank rather than fixing, right? So the lesson or the message for me that time was you don't have to fix all your weaknesses and all the feedbacks that come your way. You can pick and choose what matters for you and how you want to perceive that moving forward, right? So um, I think that was a strong message that I got early on. So I typically try to make sure the critic versus criticism is well understood for the individual, for them to work upon. Right. So it should be actionable as well, right? You can't give some vague feedback with no
Yeah.
specific examples and those kind of things. So those are the three I would double down on.
Beautifully conveyed the messages. Thank you, Vidya. Uh, TJ, do you have anything to share as an advice for the other leaders?
Um, I think, first of all, you don't have to be a leader to do something, to give back, to support your team. I think I want to start from there, that don't wait for a title to take care. If you just do what's needed and support, then I think you're more likely to grow, and people around uh, will will probably notice that, right? And along the way, I think you will also have some bitter experiences, but don't dwell on that too much. If you
Hmm.
have good intention, I believe you have to go forth and continue to do what you're doing. I've had instances. I don't think I have as much experience as the lovely ladies on this call, but in whatever capacity I am, you would expect that your team treats you in a certain way, or they listen to you because you're giving this feedback with a lot of care and affection, and because you want them to do well, but they don't always take it in the right spirit, especially the newer generation. But I was at that point where, should I change myself and become very systematic and be very direct and really take out the fun element of who I am, or do you continue to just be who you are and let that go by, right? So as a leader, you will probably doubt yourself as well when you're doing such things, but stick to who you are. That's been my reminder that no, I don't, there will be incidents like this, but we are, like I said, we are doing for the fun of it, for the joy of it, for the greater good. So we continue to believe in that and get more people to do the same.
Thank you so much, TJ. We would now like to open up a poll for the audience. And I would love for the panelists to share this as well. But so, who is this someone that you would like to acknowledge today for shaping your journey? If you had to pick just one person, who would that be? Would you like to share one of your key role models that you would like to acknowledge today? Ambika, we can start with you.
Actually, that's a tough one. One would be difficult. Um, you know, uh, I can start from my mother. She's such a inspiration to me. Both my parents have been. My husband for all his support. A few of my um, colleagues, one in particular, Dr. Nazish Ahmed, she always saw, the potential, and she kept motivating. She always kept saying that we are, hardworking women will succeed no matter where we are, and we don't need to know everything. We just have to figure it out as we go. So it was so much fun working with her. In my current team, in the current leadership as well, there are many women who inspire me every day. So my past teams and my present teams as well have been a blessing for me.
Thank you so much, Ambika. Nicoleta, do you have one particular person you would like to acknowledge, or
Yeah,
the
so
army of
difficult
people?
to. Yeah, so it's impossible for me to say it's one single person, because there's
Yeah.
been many persons in my life who really made a huge difference, and who really taught me how to trust myself and trust my feelings. It is funny because many of them are men. So I was really growing up in a man world and learning a lot from them. And this was very interesting because somehow I learned, how to complement my woman approach with some men characteristics, so that I was always somehow seeing the things from both men and women perspective, and this was so useful whenever I was dealing with things in my team or with my peers. Somehow I was able to catch the differences in the point of view, and I think I owe this to all my managers that shaped me during all my journey, who trusted me, who gave me credit even when I didn't give to myself. They were always pushing me and said, no, you're good enough, you need to go, you're on your way. Sometimes it was funny that at a certain moment I was having in my peers, so I was direct report to the CIO, and we were having the staff meetings, and I was the only woman in the team, and the CEO was really angry. We were having a tough situation, and she said, look at her, she's more men than all of you. So it was really funny. I said, okay, should I take this as a compliment, boss? I'm not sure whether it's a good thing or not. But I'm so grateful for all this experience. So they taught me how to be resilient, to trust myself, to continue on my way, but also made me realize that I have so many women advantages, and intuition was always one of the best advantage that I was having. I always believe that women intuition, it's different than men intuition, and sometimes, let's say, gives us an advantage in certain situation. And my team, I always say I owe everything that I have achieved, I owe to my team. I was lucky enough to have a team, the same team, for more than 10 years. So they were with me. I grew up from that team. So they were along my side. I was constantly learning from them. I was always feeling their love and their support in all my journey. And I was always trying to give back and always trying to show fully my appreciations and the fact that whatever I have achieved is because of them. And they were along myself. And then I was always growing, and somehow the life was always bringing me together with them. So in my current position where I am, because you saw that I have, for the time being, I have a dual head. Been a long time with Telecom, then switched to Vodafone Romania, where I was lucky enough to find great people and really form another very strong team with the team I have in Vodafone. But then, because of this is how business works, Vodafone acquired Telecom in Romania, I got back to my former team as well. So now I have again my former team from Telecom close to myself, so to my soul and to everything I do. So I'm really, really grateful for all this. It's like, the universe, it's always arranging things around what we feel and our wishes. And yes, family, it's always with me. My parents have always supported me, although they were not that workaholic as I was. So they had their stable, calm jobs all life long, and I was the one who kept going hiking the mountain. But they were always supporting me, with good and strange things that I was bringing home. They didn't understand why I had releases in the middle of the night, why I had projects and had to work weekends. They never had these things in their life jobs because they had normal jobs. But still they said, okay, if she's fine, then we are here. And now, yes, now I'm very grateful that my life really got complete, and I have also my kids. So things really evolved beautifully, and I'm very grateful for that.
I'm so happy that we do not have just one person who we can acknowledge, right? We have a team, an army of people who have supported us, and none of them are, one less or the other, right? TJ, I know you acknowledge your mother. Is there anybody else that you would like to also highlight?
Can I say my family, my mother-in-law, and my husband? Let me start with that because I came in newly and they're like, why is this girl always in the room sitting in that chair and she will not move for hours, right? But they sort of got used to it and I get like my snacks and my tea like all here. So let me start by saying that. And second, obviously, is the CEO who believed in me. I was very young, about 32, 33. He handed over everything and said, "You're free to like run that." That trust was very important because I was always typecasted as a young girl who's very nice, who will not be taken seriously, and who is, yeah, who's taken very easily. So I had to always like struggle extra hard to make a point and prove myself and put myself out there. But he was able to see that, and I think that changed my whole career. So I really have to thank him for where I am today. And let me also not forget Shardul here, who reached out to me to be a part of this panel. It takes somebody, even from the outside, to sort of make a note and think that this journey is worth sharing. So thanks to him too.
Thank you so much. Shardul is saying thanks.
Our pleasure. It's all our pleasure. Really, thank you from bottom of my heart that all of you accepted.
Vidya, would you like to go next? Share who you would like to acknowledge, and then we will move to the questionnaire, the question and answer session. We have a few from the audience.
Sure. I think am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah. So quite a the list is huge, as rest of the people as well told, right? So but I would sincerely want to thank my son, my husband, my family, um, from the get-go, right? So it was not just now or back then. It's a continuous progressive support that I have received, and I'm confident that continues forward as well, right? On the professional front, I think there are quite a bit names that I can list. As I said, like Deepa Bachu, Sudhir Patnaik, Vishal Malik, who is the one first time who made me from a team lead to an engineering manager. So there's a special respect when you convert yourself from an engineer to a first engineering manager. Rich Priest is somebody who I really look up to. Siddharth Ram is another one. The reason why I'm calling out these names, because each of these people have created a defining moment in my career, either to pivot or persevere in wherever I was, right? Small things like early on in the conference rooms, when the projector was not working, we used to call somebody to come and fix it for us. For me back then, I just removed my heels. I went on to the chair and to the tabletop, and I said, hit that button. Why are we looking for a tall guy in the room or somebody who has to come as a helping hand from a housekeeping or the IT kind of a person? So those kind of small things was noticed, and there was a pat on the back for being myself, right? So that authenticity was well appreciated way back in my career. So today I'm like who I am at home and who I'm at work. So I'm at ease all the time. So that's something which I would appreciate Siddharth Ram, who kind of made a be in the moment and took a note of that. Don't figure out who can come and fix this for you. Just do that, right? So I think I'll take a pause at that. I know that we are almost like 15 minutes. Let's take the Q&A. As you said, there are few.
Yeah. Let's see what all questions we have. A few. Let's see which ones we can pick up. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, there's one question from Danusha. She's saying, as Give to Gain is a theme for 2026 International Women's Day and very connected to this, have you ever given a lot and not gained anything back? How did you handle it, and did it change anything for you, how you give support? Danusha, do you want to point it to somebody, or is it open? Somebody can take it up.
Is it open? Whoever wants to
Yeah.
answer. Thank you.
Would anybody like to share an
Maybe I
experience?
can. Yeah, maybe I can comment a bit. It's difficult to say you gave when you didn't gain anything back. There are moments, or at least in my case, there were moments where I I was giving, and I was somehow understanding some personal situations to some colleague and trying to be nice and trying to be kind. And eventually, because I believe she needed a bit of a quiet period, easy period, trying to always be careful with loading her with tasks and everything else. So in my mind, I thought I'm showing care to her. But then it was strange because at a certain moment, suddenly I received a very negative feedback from her side, saying that actually um, I'm not treating her equally with the others, and I'm somehow leaving her aside from the rest of the activities of the team, and that I was she perceived it as a very negative thing, although personally I was really trying to protect her or to somehow understanding that she's going through a difficult situation. She got it very negatively, and she turned it back in a very very negative way. So she went to HR, making a sort of case out of it that she's not treated equally, and she's she felt it that it was a bad thing to her. So at that moment I first reaction was really, I felt disappointed because I thought, okay, I'm trying to take care of you, and now you are, making a memo to HR saying how bad I am as a manager. So initially it was, I felt like I gave and I didn't receive anything. But in the same time, after passing few days and me reflecting on the thing, then I also realized that maybe I was not communicating properly or enough to her, that actually I was trying to take care of her and not necessarily putting her in a disadvantaged situation within the whole team. And eventually, that's why I said I wouldn't say that I didn't receive anything back. Somehow it was a lesson for me, and I took it back, and after getting out of the initial frustration, I realized it was an important lesson for me. It's not like everyone is seeing your good intention and it's always appreciating it, and it always sees you as the good person in the room. And you need also to understand that each person has its own perception, and the perception drives his reality or her reality. So eventually it proved again a lesson for me, so I did gain something out of it. But there were several such situations, and maybe in these situations we also get out of our comfort zone, and also we grow out of these situations.
Thank you so much, Nicoleta. I hope that answers your question, Dhanushya. We have another one for the open panel. What advice would you give to someone for building confidence when they are the youngest in the room, or they are the only person in the room? What is that one advice that you would like to give? Would somebody want to take that up? Ambika, if you're speaking, I think you're on
Yeah.
mute.
So I think be yourself. It doesn't matter if you are the only girl in the room, which I think many of us have seen in the leadership table. We are the only women most of the time, or you are the youngest person. It doesn't matter. Just be yourself and trust your instincts. You'll go way far, and just take up the opportunity, learn from who inspires you. That's how we all grow. We look up to somebody and we try to be like them, and then we realize, okay, we get to a point where somebody else becomes our inspiration. So just keep going, one step in front of another.
Thank you so much. That's good advice. Vidya, Nicoleta, Tejaswini, do you have anything to add?
I can say the most obvious one, which is probably fake it till you make it, because I think we all have that imposter syndrome where we feel like it doesn't matter if you're the youngest or you're not the youngest, but yeah, just go there and do whatever is required, and you'll feel a sense of relief later. Yeah. I mean, yeah, or practice in front of a mirror if you have something to do. Put in the effort to, appear confident, but it's okay. Nobody's ever like really, really confident.
Thank you
Maybe
so
I
much.
can maybe I
Yeah.
can add some of the advices I was getting from one of my mentors, of course. He was telling me, look, you need to always remind there is a reason why you are there in that room, why you are the only girl among the men, why you are the youngest one in such a group. There is a reason. The reason is that someone saw the potential in you and you need to give it credit. So do your best and get on with it. And there was something else. He was always telling me whenever I was in front of a proposal that, oh, take this challenge. We believe you can do it. And I was going to him. I said, look, I don't feel I'm ready. Maybe I'm not ready. And he said, look, you know something. When you feel you're ready for a next step, it's too late, because actually you need to make the step before you feel ready, because that's where you'll grow. Whenever you feel you are not ready for the challenge, that's the kind of challenge that will help you grow. So don't wait until you feel ready to make a step. No, trust the others, trust the moment, get on with it. So it was always, circling in my head whenever I had such moment that, why am I the only one, or what should I do now? I was remembering those things, said on a very straight and serious voice, like a bit in the army. Look, there's the reason. Go with it. That's it. I think it helps.
Yes. Just one
Thank-
thing to add for the person who asked the question. To give a perspective where we stand in the corporate today, we really want to hear from the younger crowd. So we have, you know, to be frank, we pamper them because we know they bring fresh energy, they think out of the box. So we give a lot of importance for the younger generation. So that should be, a currency that you can use in positive stride. I mean, right? So I think this is the era where at least the senior leaders like us, we want to hear from you. We know that you are thinking differently. You bring a different perspective. And as corporate grows and organization grows, it's all about inclusivity. So it doesn't matter, like, if the voice is coming from the young or the new, whatever. So just to give a perspective where how organization runs. So just my 2 cents there.
Thank you so much, Vidya. Great advice, everybody. We are at time now. We would like to share some closing thoughts, and Satya would like to, wrap the conversation with some of his thoughts. I would like to invite Satya now. Um, Hi, Satya.
Hey, thanks, Mansa. Thank you, Ambika, Nicoletta, Vidya, TJ. I've been now doing this for about 15 odd years. IWD has been a special part of my growing up journey, and I do believe that we all grow up as an organization more mature when we drive inclusive workplaces. Being in HR, I've been lucky. I've been a part of the diversity group, right? About 9 out of 10 of my managers have been women, right? And about 80% of my team member are women team members, right? Throughout my journey of being a CHR for the last 15 odd years, and I think I have been tremendously blessed in more than one ways, because when you hear and start appreciating diverse perspective, it makes you a better human being. Forget about, leader, right? We all strive to become great leaders. Whether we become there or not, it's actually a point of view that our followers should have, right? I might think that I'm a great leader, but if my followers don't think that I'm great, then, the rubber doesn't, hit the road. And probably this has been one of the best panel discussion, right? And what made it best is honest and personal stories, right? Each one of you sharing, stories which have shaped your journey, which has brought you to the places that you've reached so far, and which is helping you in turn giving back to your community, your teams, your organization, organizations beyond your organization, and building a more inclusive world, right? So loved the honest stories, loved the honest piece of advice from each one of you, be it be the aha moment that Nicoletta talked about, such a defining moment for all women, right? And at times, it doesn't come straightforward to men, right? Similarly, Ambika talked about initial influences from her teachers. We all have had one teacher who has really shaped us, our thinking, right? To Vidya talking about Deepa, to TJ talking about things like don't sell yourself short, right? And don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, and experiment to grow, right? And grow with others, right? So I think I learned a little bit from each one of you, some valuable lessons which I do believe would make me a better human being, and hopefully a tad bit a better leader. So thank you, from all of us at our system for accepting our request to be a part of this panel discussion. It means a lot, right? Taking 90 minutes of your busy schedule is not easy. My special thank to Shardul. He's been a wonderful, wonderful sponsor for our DNI initiative, and was always there to kind of connect us to folks like you, convince you to join the event today. So Shardul, thank you. And my thanks to my lovely team who's worked very hard, right? And it's just not team reporting into me, everybody, Mansa, Andrea, Dhanushya, Poonam, and a whole bunch of names that I'm not saying, right? And thank you for being there, making our place inclusive and better. And thank you for doing what you do every day. So thank you.